I'm on a lake I've never ice fished before. I've got 2 lines set up today. How do I go about narrowing down my spots on a lake that I've never fished before, don't know anything about? I break it down into a couple of steps. Big pike down there. A glance at the shiner. That is a very fat, heavy pike. Flake. Oh my God. Oh God, what do I grab? Welcome back. My name is Ben Stone. You're watching canalgratis.com. Today the weatherman was wrong once again. We were supposed to have light winds, 8 to 10 miles an hour. I'm on the water right now, and it sounds like there's a tornado above me. I'm on a lake I've never ice fished before. I've got 2 lines set up today. I'm hoping for the best. Not sure how it's gonna go. So yeah, we'll see. Hey, I got a flag finally. Covering everything, doing everything alone today. Fish out there. What is going on? What is going on? Oh, it's so weird. It's a bass. Alright, well, it's a fish, not a pike, but I got a bass. Get him back. Well, that didn't take as long as I thought. I didn't even have time to get my GoPros down, which I'm a big part of when I ice fish this winter, because I've really been trying to get underwater strikes. I think that makes the videos a lot more entertaining, but I digress. Didn't even have time to get the GoPro down there, and we caught that nice little bass. It is a good sign. Obviously, not the target species, but when you're fishing areas like this, especially with weeds, you're gonna find things like bluegills, and when you find bluegills, you're gonna find bass along with pike too. So hopefully a big pike awaits us, but at the end of the day, you can't really complain when you're catching fish. Okay, so we just did our routine, well, I just did my routine, like, GoPro check. Check the underwater footage, check this one next to me. Little pike on there, good sign, was feeling pretty good about that hole in particular. And then I went and checked the other hole. I was not expecting to see what I saw, but we have a absolute giant fish. Like, big pike down there. A glance at the shiner. I just swapped it out for a bigger shiner. That fish isn't super long. That is a very fat, heavy pike. Flake. Oh my God. Oh God, what do I grab? Oh my God. Okay, no line getting pulled yet. I hate filming alone. Okay, yeah, there's line going. It's freaking windy. It's just causes lots of problems. He's running. Hooked up. That's very tighter. All right, feels decent. Not giant yet, but you never know with these kind of fish sometimes. I don't think it's gonna be super big. Took a lot of line. At the hole. All right, not the giant we're after, but it is a sign. He's bleeding a little bit, so we're gonna get him right back. Oh, that's cold. So like I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm on a lake that I've never ever once been on to ice fish. And you might be asking, well, how do I go about narrowing down my spots on a lake that I've never fished before, don't know anything about? And I break it down into a couple of steps. The first step is obviously prepping. How do I choose what lake that I want to try? All that boils down to just doing research online, whether it be through forums. The Lake Finder tool for Minnesota is a great option as well. That's going to give you access to all the DNR's lake surveys that they do, which is a great way to figure out if a lake is known to hold big fish. And also just going by the characteristics of a lake. Sometimes these lakes might not have big fish in their surveys, but still brew big fish. The way you can look for that is the type of forage that's in a lake, the type of structure, and the depth of water that you're going to be finding, because generally deeper lakes are going to hold bigger pike. Now in my case, it was a combination of forum reading and lake surveys. I was able to conclude that the size of this lake and the surveys that have been done here, this lake is definitely known to hold big fish. Now that I've got my lake picked out, how am I choosing where I want to fish? Well, that's actually a lot more simple. It can seem kind of daunting to choose a spot to fish on a lake that you've never been to. And most importantly, it's gonna boil down to the time you spend out there. As you spend more time on a new lake, of course, you're gonna become more familiar with it. But today, I've chosen this spot based on a couple of things. Mainly green weeds. I chose this spot though because there's a big river mouth behind me. And when we get later into the season, whether it be late January into February or even into March in some cases where the season's still open, these bigger pike are gonna congregate near spawning areas. These fish are gonna be feeding in preparation for ice out and in preparation to spawn. So anytime you can find a river mouth with weeds, those are two great things that are gonna locate you big pike. Now, if a lake doesn't have a river coming into it, or you're struggling to find weeds, I would say any of the gradual drop areas or softer bottom. Again, those are gonna be great spots to find pike. I'm not generally looking for hard bottom like rock and sand. Even some of the marshy areas can be a great way to find pike later in the season. Of course, you can get a lot more in depth than what I just discussed, but those are just some of the quick things that I look for. We're gonna get back to fishing here. I've got a really, really good feeling on the spot I'm on, and I hope the fish cooperate. So at this point, I am unsure as to how I'm going to edit this video and showcase all of the footage that I'm getting, because it's just an immense amount. I have, at this point, one full SD card plus more of fish coming through this area, whether it was on the far tip up or the close tip up. I've had countless fish circle. I've had a number of different good-sized fat pike roll in and chase the bait, but not commit at all, not even nip at it. There's no sense in moving. There's really no sense in changing anything up other than pulling the camera out and maybe trying smaller and or larger bait, which I'm not ready to do yet. I am still under the impression that these fish are just not in feeding mood right now, and eventually during the day they will translate into a feeding mood. This is what makes ice fishing so challenging, is just the behavior these fish display, especially later in the season. Metabolism gets low for these fish. It becomes extremely tough, tedious, but at the same time, it is so exciting to go on the phone and skim through this GoPro footage and watch these big fish come in and out. The fingers are crossed for one big bite yet the rest of today. I have no idea how to even comprehend what's happened today. Definitely not a terrible day on the water by any means. Of course, it would have been nice to catch more fish, would have been nice to catch one of those big fish, but it's what I've seen underneath the ice that has solidified my faith in this lake. This is the reward that you can get for branching out and trying new water. In my case, my research paid off and I have found multiple big pike. So tomorrow I am bringing in reinforcements. My friend Phoenix, who I've been fishing with quite a bit recently, is going to be joining me. We're going to have double the amount of lines in the water that I was able to have today. If you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel to be notified when that video goes up. And just in general, I appreciate your subscription to the channel. So with that being said, I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you next week when hopefully we catch some big pike.